Hello, Bruce here with California Gold Connection. Thank you so much for swinging by the site. Today, we're going to teach you what goes on when you come in to sell your gold. Regardless of where you go in the nation, I want to educate you a little bit because you may be collecting 5, 10, 15, 20 years plus your gold, and you kind of got a one-shot deal, right? You go in and you hope for the best. Well, if we give you a little bit of education, you can have a little bit more comfort level when you go out to sell your gold. First thing is a buying location. Typically, your pawn shops are going to be on the lower end, and then you're going to have your gold buying locations that'll typically pay out a little bit more. Some jewelry stores will buy, depending on what they got. But in general, a lot of the gold buying locations, because of what they have, it can be a little uncomfortable. A lot of them are bar-cladded windows, and you go in and it's heavy bulletproof plexiglass, and you give them your stuff, and they take it in the back room, and you kind of wonder what's going on. So that can be a little nerve-wracking. So if you're unfortunate and that's all you have in your area, you know, you can always mail it in to a buyer like myself, and that might be a little more comfort, give you a little bit more comfort level, right? When you sell to me, if you're in person with me, we get to sit down together in a private room at the table, and I go through your stuff with you and answer all your questions. So it's a little bit more comfortable that way, but I buy from all over the nation, so it's a little tough for everybody to do that, right? So anyway, another thing is reputation. You might look at the reviews online. If you have a referral, somebody's mailed into, say, me before, or sold to me directly or whatever, and you can get a referral. That gives you a little bit more level of comfort as well. So those are some things that I think we all kind of do in general, mainly when we're looking for food, right? But when you're selling your gold, we have a little bit more at stake. So what we're going to do is I'm going to explain the process to you that you'll see in most buying locations. Some things may vary a little bit. In general, I'm going to show you the process that happens to just give you a little bit of familiarity with it, so you're not just going in without any understanding whatsoever. First thing you'll see is probably a magnetic test, and they'll lay your jewelry out and they'll check it with a magnet, make sure it's not magnetic, because gold's not magnetic. However, here's a quick disclaimer. I have another video like this. It's way old. That's why I'm updating this one. Do not trust yourself to test with a magnet and weed out good and bad jewelry. Just bring all your jewelry into a professional and let us go through that. Here's a necklace. This is a perfect example. If you're thinking, oh, if it's magnetic, it's not gold, and guess what? Oh, it's magnetic. This must not be gold. Well, that's just the clasp, and there's a spring in there. So that portion is magnetic. The rest is gold. All right? So do not do this yourself unless you really know what you're doing. Just bring all your stuff into the professional. Let us go through it for you and make sure that we don't get rid of anything that's actually gold, okay? So that's the first thing you'll see, probably is a magnet real quick. Then you'll see typically a jeweler's loop. And we go through and we're looking for carat stamping, right? And so we'll 10 carat, 14 carat, 18 carat, we'll divide your stuff up into piles. And that way we know how to pay out because we're paying by weight, by carat, all right? So that's the first kind of preliminary thing you'll see us do. And then sometimes, I've been buying over 30 years, I can look at this stuff with my eyes closed pretty much and tell you what you got, but a lot of times you'll see confirmation testing. So it says 14 karat, I want to verify that it really is 14 karat. And for that, we have some test methods. First test method you're going to see on the amateur buying locations is going to be an acid test. They take your jewelry, and they scratch it on this stone, make a line on the stone, and then they take their acid. They have 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat acid. They take their acid, they put a drop on here, and if that line remains, then they go to the next higher acid. This is 14 karat. They drop it on here. If the line remains, then they go to the 18 karat and so forth. Now, if the line dissolves, then they know it's not 14 karat. It must be 10 karat, right? Well, there's some jewelry in the industry that's known to us buyers that is under carated. These flat herringbone chains that everybody wore in the 80s, and still people wear them now, but they were very popular then. A lot of these were under carated, and they're 12 karat on average. A lot of big Figaro, heavy gold Figaro chains will be 12 karat, under carated. Why? Because that's heavier stuff, so I think maybe they just kind of fudged on those numbers a little bit. I don't really know, but we just know as buyers in the industry, those are things we watch out for. So anytime we see a herringbone chain, we double check it, right? The disadvantage of an acid test is it will always fall in the buyer's favor. Because if this is 12 karat it's going to fail the 14 karat acid test. And the best thing I can tell you is that it's at least 10 karat, so I'm going to pay you on 10 karat gold if that's all I've got to test with, right? Well, if it's 12 karat, you're losing 2 carats of value there. And typically they've fudged on the higher weight pieces, and the more weight it is, the more money you get paid. So the bigger, heavier pieces is where we see this issue, and that means you're going to take quite a bit of a hit on those 2 carats of value. So this test, the reason it's, you'll see the amateurs use this, it's like a $20 or $30 kit. I bought this just to show you it. I've never used it. I don't use this. But yeah, it's like a $20 or $30 kit, so anybody can start being a gold buyer with this thing, right? You'll lose a little bit of money depending on if you have something like this, okay? Your better buying locations, you will see an electronic tester of some sort. And there's a number of different models out there. The better ones will show you a percentage of gold and the carat of gold. What do you know about percentage of gold? 14 karat gold's got 58.3% gold in it. You don't know that, most likely. That number, if I just showed you that number, it would be nothing to you. But a good tester will say 14 karat right on it. Or in this necklace instance, this under-carated necklace, it'll show you 12 karat right on it. So at least what I'm telling you as a buyer, you can verify with this machine with your own eyes with very little knowledge about gold. It's literally telling you what it is right there. So your more reputable locations will at least have a machine, especially if you have a discrepancy, they can at least explain it to you and show it to you, right? And these are like $500 or $700. I don't know, I got a bunch of them. I don't remember what I paid for them, but anyway, you got to be a little bit more serious buyer to be spending that kind of money on a tester, right? Now, your high-end buying locations, your super high-end professional buying locations will have XRF X-ray testing guns. This thing right here, depending on the doodad you get with it and the warranty, this is 25 or 30 grand, okay? So it's a lot of money. So your only high-end professional buyers are going to have one of these. And they'll have it in a gun form like this, or they may have a bench top model. They do the same thing. One they just have on their counter, and then this is portable. I like this. I do a lot of dental gold that I buy, and I use this a lot. So anyway, but this is a lot of buyers of the buyers like me. We have these things. So you probably won't see one of these things in your travels, but that's another test method. And what's nice about this, especially in this instance, I can x-ray this thing, and this will read out every bit of metal that's in here and the exact percentage of what it is, and it'll also tell you the karat gold. So, you know, if I have to explain this to you, I could literally just show you this gun, and it's self-explanatory. So anyway, that's the test method you'll see. First a magnet, followed by a loop test typically, and then one of these acid machine, or in extreme case, you'll see an individual with an XRF X-ray gun. But very not likely. So now people ask about scales. Well, how do I know your scale's accurate, right? That's a reasonable question. But your buying locations are supposed to have fair trade certified scales. And what that means is that the counties come out, they've checked the weight by weight, they put all their weights on here and check this and certify the scale, and they give you a sticker on here. And then they leave, and I do that once a year. Well, who's to say I didn't drop this on the floor right after he left, and it's not accurate anymore? So while that's nice to see that it's a certified scale, I really don't hold any value in that, because anything can happen to it, right? As buyers, we protect our scales very well, but that really doesn't mean anything to me. And certainly you won't know if it's still calibrated or not. However, something that you have that you can check a scale with very easily is paper money. No matter what denomination, these things weigh about a gram. So if you put one on there, it should say a gram. If I got 3 bills I could put on there, I should read 3 grams. So that's a way, if you want to verify a scale, whether it's supposedly certified or not, you can verify a scale with something you have and don't have to have a whole lot of smarts to do it, or knowledge in this industry to do it. It literally say 3 grams. And if it says 2.998, well, that's close enough. We're talking fractions of a cent at that point. But if it says 2 grams and you know you put 3 bills on there and it should say 3 grams, that's a third, that's a lot. 2.5 grams would be a concern, right? So anyway, your scales are scales. Yeah, certified and everything sounds nice, but who knows what's happened to it, right? So here's a way for you to check it with something you have, all right? That's basically it. Payout. When we talk about payout, and sometimes you can call around and get quotes. That can be a game because people don't like to give quotes. And if they give quotes, there's sometimes there's downgrading processes they go through, and the prices sound good on the phone, but by the time you leave the place, you're getting way less than what they quoted, and they just happen to get you in the store that way, right? So if you called me and told me or asked me, what am I paying for 10 karat gold? And I said $25 a gram, and you have a bracelet and you have a food scale or something at home and you can weigh it and it's just 10 grams, and I'm telling you I'm paying $25 a gram, that's $250. That's pretty straightforward, right? So that's one way that you can kind of a little bit do some checking on your own if you want to. Your professional locations, all precious metals are bought in troy weight, troy ounces or gram weight, okay? You will run into potentially penny weight. Penny weight's another form of measurement that's no longer used professionally in anywhere other than sometimes you'll see it in this scrap buying industry. It really shouldn't be used, in my opinion, because it can be very deceptive. If you call me and you ask me, what do you pay per gram for 10 karat? And I say $25, and you call the next guy and you ask him, what are you paying for 10 karat? And he says $30, you're going, oh, that guy pays more. He didn't tell you gram weight or penny weight, right? He just said $30. And in all reality, if you did the math, it's 1.55 grams per penny weight. So if you do the math on it, you may be getting $18 a gram on your 10 karat instead of 25 that I would have quoted you. But that's the funny math, and it's very deceptive. So if you're getting quotes in penny weight, I would try another location. I'm not saying they're trying to cheat you or not, but a professional location should be buying your stuff by gram weight, okay? So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. My job here is basically to educate you a little bit, make you feel a little bit more comfortable when you go out. If you're all around the nation and you're going out and to do this, maybe you'll be a little more educated now. If you're not really comfortable, you don't know anybody, you didn't get any referrals, and you want to mail it in, I'm here for you. I go through the test process just like I shared with you, except for I use this guy all the time because I have it. Then we can communicate over the phone, and maybe you know somebody that sold to me before, or you can get a referral. This is the only chance I get to build a rapport with you on a video. Not great, I know, but it's something. So anyway, I hope that video helped. You guys have a blessed day. Good luck on selling your gold, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.